Alrighty, kids, we're finally gonna get this pet portrait started. So I know all of our pets vary, but we can at least learn from each one of the pet portraits that I'm going to post, and you'll probably pull some nice tips off of it that you could work out with your own pet. So keep following. I'll do a couple and post them. This is an acrylic, and I do tend to use a lot of water with my acrylic in the beginning, and I do like to start lighter first. So I've already pre-drawn my pet onto the canvas and gave it a thin coat of white paint. So I'm going to start here. This is not my pet, but this is one that I was asked to do for somebody else for a Christmas gift. So I'm letting everything white that is already white and just starting to work in my lighter colors. See how I'm moving into my other brown? And I'm using an angle brush because I like the line that it gives me. This is not a very furry dog. It has short hair, so it will do better. See how that line will give me all that control? Sometimes you can get a better line off of a angle brush than you can a thin brush. Actually, most times you can. And the less pressure you apply, the better off your line will be. So I'm not adding that collar on because she actually reached out and asked me to not put the collar on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint around that. Now I'm going to use a filbert brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter brown I was using and mix with the darker, because I need it to be darker right here underneath where his jawline would be. It would cast a little bit of a shadow there, so that's where we want it to appear like it's sitting back. We're also going to need to determine where our light is coming from in this picture. So I think what we should do is determine that our light is going to come from here, hitting onto the animal's nose. So I'm going to highlight here and make sure my shadows are back there. This is my fan brush, and I'm going to use this to give a little bit of fur texture, which we'll be adding in later anyway. But for now, I want that to kind of blend in. It's a little darker under this dog's eye here. And the dog has this eye, it would be on our left, seems to be looking out this way a little more. So there is white. We're gonna let some of that white there for now. We'll let it white. I don't want any big bumps with the acrylic, so I'm going to keep working that down. It gets a little darker right here in the muzzle. And we're going to jump over here. I don't like to stay in the same area. It's darker there. I'm just following what I see, guys. I don't want you to think about it. I want you to follow exactly what you see. Don't try and change anything on your own. If you want to get the character of your animal, you want to follow what you see, not what you're thinking, okay? I'll have to come back around that highlight. There should be dark under the ear in here. We're going to be sectioning this video off in 15-minute increments so that it will upload properly onto YouTube. It usually gives me such a fit doing that, so I don't want to mess that up. So in 15 minutes we'll shut off and we'll continue on the next phase. But for now, I'm just mapping out my browns. There's a little bit of a lighter brown over here. I'm gonna put a little brown on the nose. I try to stay away from black. It's just how I do things. I know a lot of people probably are a lot braver than I am that way, but that's just how I paint. And he's got a little black going around this jowl line. I'll probably use Payne's Gray, which is very similar to black, but not quite. Where are we with time here? Okay, we got 4 minutes. So I'm gonna take a little of this black. It takes very little. And we're gonna start dusting a little in here at the muzzle. So the septum should be there. And we're gonna eventually work into fading that in. A trick I use often, it's probably bad that I'm going to say this, but if I am unsure of something and I see a lot of kids making those little noses too round, these little nostrils, if I am unsure of the dog or the project, I will let a line unfinished. So art can be that way. It can actually trick your eye, which is purpose of art, or to try and get it similar. If you don't know what I meant there, guys, you can just message me. I think I'm going to use some of this taupe in that, because I don't know that jet black is the way we should be going here so close to this white. I don't know the age of the dog, but it doesn't look to be like a pup or 2 or 3 years old. So they start to gray out in the muzzle after they get so old. See how I'll let this area unfinished with the white? You guys don't have to finish all of your lines. And I like to pull my colors together just a little bit. Make your eyes move around the canvas using your artistic liberties. All right, guys, we are almost at a point where I'm going to shut this video off and start off with the series 2 of this video. All right, I'll see you in a second.